Hello there, how are you doing today? It was a very cool night in the Federal Capital Territory. We were embraced by a long shower, so everyone slept well, no doubt. It's great to be here today, chatting with you on our program Weekend Deal, as we continue with what we began yesterday, talking about shortchanging Nigerians. My name is Thelma Obaze. You're watching Weekend Deal on the Nigerian Television Authority. It's always great to have your company with us. We started talking about shortchanging Nigerians yesterday. We will continue today and reiterate a bit of the conclusions we came to yesterday, but that'll be after we meet Deep. Hello, Deep. Namaste.
Raise your knee, walk towards your trunk. Namaste. Good morning, Nigeria. I am Diptiranjan Mohanty, a trained yoga teacher from High Commission of India, Abuja. Now we will do Vrikshasana, tree posture. Those who are suffering arthritis, knee pain, they should avoid this posture. Fix a point on the ground 6 feet distance from your body or in front of your eyes. Now bend your knee, bring your right foot, place inside of your left thigh. Your heel should be touched to your perineum. Right knee pointing towards the right side. Now breathe in, raise your both arms above your head, both palms joined together. This is called Pranamasana. Now breathe out, slowly release your both hands, release your legs. Now we'll do it same in left side. Now breathe in, bring your left foot, place it inside of your right thigh. Now breathe in, raise your both arms, join your both palms together, both upper arm touch to your ear. Gauge the point throughout the practice. Perform this practice up to 10 to 15 seconds. Now breathe out, slowly release your both hands, release your legs. This is called 1 round. Likewise, we will do more 3 rounds. This Vrikshasana, tree posture, it helps to improve neuromuscular coordination, nervous balance, endurance, alertness and concentration, and it also strengthens the leg, ankle and foot muscles. Thank you for joining this yoga session. See you next time with more posture. Namaste. Raise your knee, walk towards your trunk.
Thanks, Dib. Always great to spend time with you and be your company. We do this exercise yoga for the body, the soul, the spirit, for character formation. It can also impact nation building, no doubt, if we're all doing it to improve our character and our quality. It's time to take our first break. It beckons now. When we come back, our background feature will set the tone for our conversation today. Don't go away. Yesterday, when we had a very engaging conversation with two gentlemen, veteran broadcasters, who began their broadcast journey here at the NTA and threw open the doors for many like us to come in and understand the business of broadcasting, talking about Dr. Adamu Abdullahi, the CEO and the EVC of the FCCPC. They talked about patience. They said at this time, we must be very intentional about what we do. We should be patient. We should watch what is unfolding because the government has set up several committees to ensure that things are put in place to make Nigerians feel more secure and to make things more comfortable for Nigerians. Dr. Mary talked about having a commodity market where farmers and agriculturists could bring their product directly, thereby removing the menace of middlemen. He also talked about being patriotic at all levels so that in a way we can be our brother's keeper. We just may be the ones we have been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. If you do it right in your own corner, it will continue to cycle around till everybody gets on board and does it the right way. But Talat has been taking another look at what we're talking about, shortchanging Nigerians. Let's see what she found.
The economic hardship in Nigeria has reached unprecedented levels. Prices soar daily, pushing essential items out of reach of many. Manufacturers justify reducing product sizes and hiking prices, citing inflation. But is this fair to customers?
They say that the dollar has increased, and then because of that, even you that you're not selling things that are bought with dollars, you increase your own prices and say dollar has increased. Or not to you, when you increase your own, and the other person felt the pain of buying it at that increased rate, he goes to increase his own too, and then you go there to buy. And that's, you too, you start complaining that, the price has gone up. And so it just goes round that way, and everybody's just really like, just imagine a dog tied to a tree, right? With a chain, is unable to move away from where the tree is. He's choking on his neck. And instead of just calling for help, he's running round and round and round and round until there's no more space for him to even breathe and he's choking.
So because of the impact of some government policy, let's look at the government policy in the area of monetary as well as in the area of fiscal policy. These are the two angles that you can understand government policy, added to the trade policy of the government. So with the effect of all these three policies in one, it affected the economy in the area of inflation. Although they are saying, talking about hyperinflation, but I see make people understand we are seeing inflation level because of the high cost of goods and services. So because of that, it has really affected every commodity. Is it food? Is it clothes? Is it services? Is it item that basic item that we need to use? So because of that, it has really impacted it negatively. And this also arises because most of those goods are also imported, as we see. Apart from food that we can say, okay, maybe 80% of our food are locally produced. Some of those food are also imported. Transmission of prices on all these now resulted to the high cost of those prices, leading to whereby majority of Nigerians who are not anymore or who are not earning enough will not have access to quality food or affordable food for them. And that's why they have found themselves at this bottom of the challenges of high cost of living that Nigerians are facing today.
Meanwhile, Nigerians face another hurdle: indiscriminate bank charges. Why are banks debiting customers without explanation? It's a question many struggle to answer.
That really happened because of the unregulated aspect from the CBN in the system. CBN have left that vacuum whereby unsolicited deduction of money, unsolicited SMS, unsolicited greetings. You see banks greeting you on your birthday, they're greeting you on your wedding day, they're greeting you on several occasions, and they will deduct the money as a result of the money they claim that they pay for the services, or they also incur as a result of engaging network provider to provide that service for them. So by the way, they make you customer to pay for it. Meanwhile, the network provider also take out of it, which they also profit from it. And that's how many people have been asking that, how are our bank really making money out of the entire business circle in Nigeria? And we have discovered that it is because of some of these frivolous activities that the bank are carrying out. And we will not blame the bank because CBN have left its vacuum so open.
Every Nigerian that has a bank account number should care enough to know who his account officer is. Get phone numbers of the bank, get their email address, get every information. Where you kept your money, why won't you know anybody there? Why would you be blind? You were smart enough to open an account. And then you put your money there and you do not care about what concerns you. The usual way that we treat Nigerian things. You're also treating yourself that way. Because I don't see my bank taking any money from my account that I do not understand, without me harassing them until I get to the highest authority. I will call them on the phone and say, I just saw a deduction in my account, what is it for? You explain it to me, whether, by the time you finish explaining it, it's possible that yes, it's something new that came from Central Bank that I didn't know about. Your bank should even be informing you about new changes. And if they have not informed you and you notice, you should call them.
And as if the economic burden isn't heavy enough, some resort to dishonesty for financial gain. In a time of crisis, integrity is more important than ever. Let's work together to uphold honesty and fairness. Our focus on Weekend Deal today will be on shortchanging Nigerians.
That was quite in-depth, Talatu. You know, you went to different nooks and crannies of our business and the things that affect us positively and negatively. We welcome change, but we welcome good change. Change that takes us back or has negative impact is hardly ever welcomed and embraced or with smiles. It was the former president of the United States of America, Barack Obama, who says, things will not change for the good if we sit and wait, if we postpone, or if we say, let the next person do it. That is why we say, let's be the change that we seek. We're going to Benin City. We're going to Edo State, at the heartbeat of the nation, where they've been working assiduously to give us information about what's happening there with regard to Nigerians being shortchanged. Nsan and her crew did this work for us. What did they find? Nsan, please take us through.
Not to buy.
Give me Spinoff Eyes, double black. How much is it?
It's 1.5.
What are you saying?
Mama.
I just bought this thing 1,000 naira just last week.
In recent times, the ranking effects of cheating, dishonest practices, swindling for material gains amongst persons is most alarming.
What are you saying? You debited me 2,000 and you tell me the drink is 1.5.
I will not cheat you.
There is corruption in every facet of our society. Transparency International defines corruption as any form of impurity. And if you want to go by that definition, you will discover that corruption is everywhere.
Your money.
Give me back my balance. How can you debit me 2,000 instead?
From merchants of different wares to the ordinary unassuming personalities to service providers of all different categories to point-of-sale system operators and several other examples, no one is taking it easy.
I'll show you, but this POS, charge now. So if you charge, I will show you later.
Even at some departmental stores, as far as these pure water companies, you can buy 10 bags of water for 3,200 from Mr. A. You go to Mr. B, you get same item for 3,005. So it's all over.
This menace is sadly eating deep into society as people are increasingly falling victims of different scenarios of the cheating game.
Oh man, it means more than one person you could just do wrong person, we'll not call police for you, I don't tell you now.
In developed clients or developed society, there is price control mechanism that is lacking in Nigeria. If you go abroad, in most of their shops, you discover an item that sells for $1 or $2. If you come back in 3-4 years' time, the price tag will remain the same. There's lack of fixed price mechanism in Nigeria.
Drinks. We sell drink also. they'll open it, they will not see the sign of open drink. So they will not say this drink is not original, it's fake, and we already bought it, then we will not run loss. They are still facing such things.
When we are doing our clearance or some other things, then we need to submit our documents or our files, then so that your file can pass from someone's table to the next table, then they'll be asking you to pay some certain amount which are not necessarily required. And when you want to buy things, they mislead us with their information. So they give you information that are not necessarily true. Then by the time that you've done it, you now go and hear from another source that this thing that you did now is not necessary. And then you don't know you have already paid money.
Though the spread of this trend may appear unstoppable, residents say operating systems in transparency, being accountable, and setting punitive measures for defaulters may serve as a deterrent.
Whether in the government or, in fact, any leadership position, let's be open. Let your activities be open. Don't create room for suspicion.
Nigerians subcharging each other is as a result of greed. We are not contented, and for us to get rid of this act of greediness, we must extend love, we must showcase love to one another.
People may have different reasons for cheating, but as they say, cheating does not pay, and cheaters will receive their just reward in the long run.
It's those cheaters that we're speaking with, especially, or speaking to today, if only they would listen. Always put yourself in the position of the next person. What you're going through, they're going through it. Let me go back again to our chat yesterday. Dr. Michael Mary urged us to cut our coat according to our cloth. And one of the viewers that sent in a message said, there's no longer a pair of scissors for the common man. So what would they use to cut the fabric? But really what we're saying is, if you can do your best to live within your means. That way, you may not feel the urge to shortchange or cheat as somebody else. That because puts yourself in that person's position. Maya Angelou said, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, perhaps you can consider changing your attitude. Sometimes it's not one person's attitude, it's the attitude of an entire community. Sometimes we need a mindset change, we need a lifestyle change or a revamp. Let's continue to look into that. Today we have guests, expert guests for expert analysis. So we continue to bring resolutions that are workable to the table. That way everyone is the better for it. Let's welcome, first up, Imam Shuaib Mustafa Agbarire. He's a lawyer and a social commentator. We get to see his profile.
Thank you for having me, viewers at home and everywhere in the world. Thank you.
Okay, great. I'll be joining them very soon. We have another guest. She's a psychologist. Let's introduce to you and welcome to Weekend Deal, Oluwatoyin Ogunkami.
Good morning, Nigerians. Nice having you all here. Hope you're having a nice time at home watching us.
Okay, great. It's great to have you with us on Weekend Deal. Let's continue to enrich this conversation. Let's make it workable with practical solutions, and Nigerians can inculcate, and get about doing as soon as possible. Imam, you are very welcome to Weekend Deal.
Thank you.
Welcome, Toyin. Great to have you with us.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, but I will start with you because one will wonder, what will the psychologists be telling us at this time? When we spoke at length yesterday, when we began to do research for this topic, the first thing you even ask yourself, we often say we are a brother's keeper. We have families and relatives who are also living in this country with us, perhaps in different parts of the country, not where we stay all the time, but they are all feeling the impact. So we know how the shoe pinches. Is it the norm to want to make someone feel a high level of discomfort continuously? Because we talked about how sometimes you go and buy tomato, you go and buy pepper, they tell the dollar has gone up. And what has dollar got to do with foodstuff in Nigeria? Is it not from farm to table or from farm to market? But give us your own candid view into this issue.
Okay, so thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for having me here. So when it comes to people being dishonest, or when it comes to the way we respond or react to crisis around us, I would say it's a function of our value system, it's a function of our emotional experiences, it's a function of how we're raised. So for most times, people who want to cut corners or want to go into sharp practices is due to the value, what they hold as important to them. If it's all about gain, yeah, this will be the people that want to cut corner at all costs just for them to have more money. But if it's about the fact that you've been raised right, you have the right values, you know that when it comes to relating to other people, you don't need to be dishonest. Just need to tell them the truth. This is how it is. Yeah, I went to the market, this is how I bought my things, and this is how much I'm selling. But you don't need to start cutting corners of either reducing the quantity or the quality of what you're selling just to make more money at the expense of the other person. So I would say it's a function of how the person was raised, it's a function of the person's values, the function of how the person's belief system and emotional experiences.
Big steps were taken by government last year. Removal of the subsidy,
yes,
some economic policies put in place by the CBN, and all those will have a lasting impact, and not all may be positive at this time. That's where he called for patience, which I brought to the table today. And he said we should just be patient. She has now asked us to look into other income streams. We should now go, there's no box anymore, right? So we need to think ingeniously to innovate and bring to the fore ideas that can bring resources. But you didn't comment on something. Maybe let me start with her, because first, before you are a psychologist, you are a woman. You go to the market, you buy stuff. Most times it's the females in the family who do most of the shopping. Though we've come to learn that many men now support physically, financially, and every other way, They go there to see. Is it true that the 100,000 can only buy this? Let me go. Let me know where that 20K I'm adding. Let me know if it's really going to, is it Brazilian hair or fabric or to this shopping? Dr. Mary talked about a commodity market being established so we can eradicate the middleman, so that way he is of the opinion that prices will come down. What do you think? Is it possible to completely remove the middleman? Will prices in Nigeria, what we know is that prices go up. They hardly come
down. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so if we're removing the middlemen, what would they be doing? So that's one thing we need to actually think about, because the middleman is actually earning too. It's a source of income for them too. But what can we do in this instances? If we're going to remove the middleman, what will they do? For me, going to the market, all I want to do is I want to get to the market, see what I want to buy, and buy those things at affordable prices. How it gets there, most times we don't even want to know. We just want to get there and say, okay, I want to buy X, Y, Z, and I want to get them at affordable prices. Now, if we remove the middlemen, who will be bringing the goods down? Is it that the people, because somebody is selling, so the people selling, are they going to go there, or are they going to bring the farmers down, cost of transportation and all that? That's a lot of things we need to put into
consideration.
consideration, not just the fact, because the middleman is actually going to take his car to the farm and bring this item and to meet the person selling. So what we need to, so when we're thinking about the long term, we should also look at the short term, because we're removing a group of people that are going to be jobless. What would that cost to the society?
But can we look at the cost they are also bringing on us? If we weigh the two, if the cost they are bringing on citizenry is becoming unbearable, oughtn't we to begin to explore other solutions? But hold your thoughts, We'll go to Enugu. Let's go to Enugu now, where we even get to learn that sometimes when you're purchasing items, you need to look at your scale very closely, because there's some sharp practices going on. Yes. You know, these unethical practices, this the amount of negative wiseness we exploit when trying to cheat or take advantage of others. If we utilize it to do innovative things, wouldn't it take us further? Boy Enugu, please tell us what you found in the market and elsewhere.
The continuous increase in food prices in the country has become a matter of serious concern to every Nigerian. The jump in inflation has been attributed to the continuous rise in dollar by some people, but the conflicting issue is, why is the inflation also affecting locally produced goods like rice, groundnut, garri, beans, and others?
I think it's a function of greed. People are greedy and very much in a hurry to take advantage of every situation, take advantage of every opportunity to rip off people. Vendors are often looking for the slightest way to get more than they ought to get.
I do not see why the price of dollar would affect what we produce locally. Today, it has become a fad for you to walk on the street, you see somebody selling mango, orange, vegetable, anything, which the person obviously plucked from his or her compound. And you tell the person, ask her, how much do you sell? The person will give you one exorbitant price. And you ask the person, why now? The price is too high. The person will tell you, are you not aware that the price of dollar has risen?
The hard economic reality has triggered unethical practices by traders at all levels who go as far as padding their measuring cups, adjustment of scales and fuel pumps, and also other sharp practices to shortchange their customers and make more profits, thereby reducing the quality and quantity of services rendered.
In this three now, the original one is this one. Then these two are padded. This one is now the dollars. Even if you measure them all, you see the difference.
Can you measure it? Let's see it on the kg. I beg, give this one.
I should leave the kg. Because of what?
You don't really get the what.
Everything is high now. You know, last year, this cow is 700,000. But now it's a million. And if you ask them, they will tell you that fuel, add money. Gas, add money. If you want to buy meat in scale, it's in zero like this. If I put this meat now, for example, it's 115, 1.5. But if I add this thing and put it in zero, it will not be the same thing. So any day you want to buy meat, just tell the person to put the pan before measuring it. Because if you put the pan for the ground, when you put it here, the pan, yes.
Good. I'm doing it myself so that I'll make sure that what she got is what I will get too. It's very obvious from the measurement that this older cup is the original cup.
We have three painters here. They are all the same. Oh. We do this because there are some customers that are so greedy, they keep pricing and pricing. And for you to be able to satisfy them and yourself, you have to give them this.
According to some experts, the harsh economic situation, if handled properly, will be a panacea to a robust economy, which will, in the long run, increase the quality of life of the average Nigerian.
I appeal to Nigerians that we need to become more cautious, we need to become more realistic, we need to become more reasonable. Let every hand be on deck to ensure that the Nigerian naira does not become a worthless piece of paper.
Nigeria is blessed with the resources to feed itself. So we should begin to use what we have within ourselves, increase, even if we must increase anything, we could increase exportation, but reduce importation of products, and then, focus inwards.
Intriguing and interesting. Who would have thought we'll come to a time when we'll start learning how to monitor the skill there. When you just go to the market, usually you are in a hurry. You want to quickly get to the cooking because people are waiting to eat that meal. So who thought would be checking the scale, put the pan first, remove the pan, measure the basin like 3 or 4 times? But it's because of what is happening in the country. And perhaps people had already forecasted that there will be times like this, or perhaps times like this have happened before in the world. That's why Mahatma Gandhi says, we are the change that we seek. Barack Obama says it again, that don't wait for anyone else to come bring that positive change you desire. We are the ones that we have been waiting for. Everybody should think introspectively. Imam, let me ask you, let's continue what we're discussing with our psychologist earlier. And let me also add this part where Dr. Mary and Dr. Adamo aligned yesterday by saying that the middle class has been nicely removed in our country. So we have up and down. And further alludes to what you were saying earlier, that little things can trigger people because challenges are enormous. So don't seem as though you are putting your success or your comfort in their faces by changing vehicles and clothes and stuff like that. Let us now bring that to bear on what we just saw. There's no more middle class. So it's upper, it's lower. Yes. And we're seeing skills changing. We also talked about shrinkflation yesterday, where you are purchasing higher. The cost is higher, the content is less. You can also align what we saw in the market now.
Yes, completely. I will agree with them and align. Completely lock, stock, and barrel. That we don't have the middle class again. It's so unfortunate that we get ourselves in this level. And there must be that, because, the gap between the up and the down is so wide. So there must be a collage in the middle that will be the hook between the low and the high. So my own take on it is that as we are now, we just need to understand that it's a phase. It's just a phase. There will be a time that if you get it right, that the middle class must come back. Because you cannot walk when you have just the up and down.
So our focus now is that getting it right.
Getting it right.
Because we've atomized the different issues and different ways we're being shortchanged. We're also saying that no one will come and build the country for us.
Yes.
If government says they are doing what needs to be done, they are working assiduously, but all the good can present at one time. It now falls back on us as Nigerians. We are the ones in the market. We are the ones who also come to purchase. We are the ones who farm. We are the ones who do the transport. We are the ones who come to buy. We are the ones who also enter the vehicle. So how can we help ourselves and each other?
That's where I'm going. You see, the poor, the lower class, they will see that the only thing for me to get from you as the high man is for me to raise my own commodities. Because I don't have access to the type of money you have. So that is the disconnect that we have. So they will jack it up for no just reasons. I farm. What does farming has to do with the dollars? I have the product here. We are getting the input here. I put it down, the seedling, everything, it comes up. And the man that will come with it to the town will say it's because of the petrol subsidy that was removed. So you can see the consumer, the producers, they are now holding on what they have and saying the only thing I will use.
Just pure excuses?
They are
to an extent, haven't they impacted us?
Yes,
the fuel subsidy removal,
but to
and
them,
the
psychologically, what they would think is that this is the only thing I have, and I have to survive. You have more there, and you are surviving.
But see what I'm asking. See what I'm asking.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it that let's provide clarity.
Yes.
We do know that because of some of the challenges,
yes,
some prices have to go up.
Yes.
So there are genuine cases.
There are.
But we are now saying, are there cases where there's arbitrary price increase?
There are so many of that.
Okay.
That is out of sabotage, avarice. Some people, let us talk about the issue of these dollars. Government say, okay, let me float the dollars. Because the issue of economic postulation, demand and supply. So now when they floated it, ordinarily it should bring the thing down. But some people are out there, immediately they see that the CBN pumps dollar into the economy, they will just go and buy it all and hoard it. When they hoard it, you won't have it in circulation again. It will now trigger what we call inflation. So some people are out there whose business is, number one, they will speculate. They want to sabotage the government's efforts. There are some people intentionally, just to make sure that nothing works. This petrol
But what
subsidy,
do they benefit out of that?
The benefit is that they're not patriotic. They don't have the love of the country. Number one, apart from the economic benefit that is coming to them, the second one is that they want to kill the country so that everybody will go into the imaginary.
Can we look into that as psychologists? Because we earlier said that our families, many of us, our families are here. So whether we're doing it in the FCT and they live in Delta, somehow that ricochet effect is going to further impact them. So is it not, are we not fooling ourselves at the end of the day?
Yeah, well, I would like to start from where he started, where he stopped, about the fact that those that are ordering, those that, apart from the fact that are sabotaging the economy, some of them actually have a poverty mindset whereby they think, oh, I need to grab everything now because I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And I would call that a poverty mindset, because if you're thinking about now, you want to grab everything now, what will happen tomorrow? What will happen to your children? What will happen to your relatives in the village and all that? If you are sabotaging the economy now because you want to grab everything now, what about tomorrow? That's one thing they need to look at. For those that are sabotaging the economy, for those that are grabbing everything for their own personal gain, I would say that is being greedy, and that's having like a poverty mindset. But let's look beyond that. What can we do? We are meant to be our brother's keeper. We're meant to be more empathetic towards other people. It's not all about you getting everything. What about the other person? Because if you're getting everything, you're going to trigger something in that poor person out there. And that's why we have increase in crime rates. We have increase in so many negative things. I don't want to mention them on here, you know, because they feel that, oh, the rich man is getting richer while the poor is getting poorer. So what can we do in between? And that's where all this negative
practices comes in.
But if we look at the fact that we're meant to be our brother's keeper, even from the back, as a Christian, we're meant to help other people. We're meant to, you know, give out to other people. Let other people survive. Like the president said, let the poor breathe, you know. We're meant to allow other people to survive. We should not have this poverty, this closed, fixed mindset whereby we think it's all about us. If you have everything, how are you going to, your children are going to interact with people. Your children are going to go to school with other children. Your siblings are going to they're going to go to the market.
But you know, they are faceless for the most part. We don't know who these saboteurs are. But another thing, again, another angle, before we go on this break, I want us to ponder on for when we return. Being wealthy is not a crime. Some people worked honestly and assiduously for what they own.
Absolutely.
It's not a crime. So it's not because some of us don't have as much, we should look upon them with anger, you know, we're always upset when they worked to earn. And perhaps it's time, you know, today is their time. Who knows whose turn it will be next? But we'll go on a break. When we come back, your messages are coming in. We'll take them because they will further enrich our conversation and give us clue, clarity, and direction. Don't go away. It's Weekend Deal. Research, real-life research done by our colleagues nationwide and in the FCT have shown that some Nigerians are in the habit of shortchanging other Nigerians. Yesterday, we brought the words of patriotism to the fore. We talked about dignity. We talked about patience. We talked about being resolute and resilient. Today, we continue. These sharp practices, who are they going to make better at the end of the day? Because what we do today, we think it good, may come round tomorrow and bite us. But I'm talking with a psychologist and a lawyer and a social commentator. It is them who are bringing their expert analysis to the table. Let's continue where we stopped earlier.
Okay. So, like I was saying earlier, I said that the fact that we're shortchanging ourselves is actually affecting every other person in the society. So you would say that, oh, you want to gain more and at the expense of the other person, which is not nice. Now, apart from that, you said earlier that the people that were here yesterday, they spoke about the fact that the government is working. But in the meantime, we know the government is working. We need our agencies, like the National Orientation Agency, to come out and let us know what is happening. They should be able to give hope to the society, let people know that, yeah, we're working and X, Y, Z are the things we're doing. But in the meantime, give hope to the people. Let's know what is happening. For me, I don't see anything about the National Orientation Agency. I don't see them coming out to even educate people. They're meant to be out there to educate people. There should be jingles out there. There should be radio, TV adverts telling people about these things and why it's not good for other people to shortchange or to deprive their fellow Nigerians of their right here.
Let's hear from you.
That is my take as well. I will agree with that. We need to send the message of love
and hope,
peace, and hope to people. I love the language of the president one time when it said that I'd let the poor breathe. We also need to sensitize the rich among us to have mercy on the poor. Then the poor from the other side should also know that the rich have worked for their money. When you talk about that thing the other time, I like it. They need to enjoy their money. If you have worked for something and you assiduously, and the the reward of your hard work is now coming for you.
Financial resource.
Nobody should deny you of that. So you should also know, the poor should also know that they have hope. That when they also work hard, they are going to get into that side.
Perhaps instead of getting upset, angry, and feeling that they've been something has been distorted in their lifespan, we can emulate some hard workers and make them role models. And where possible, seek to make them our mentors. I'd like our psychologist to comment, but let's go to Sokoto quickly. It's also talking about the fear and the high cost of living in Nigeria.
The world may be going through harsh economic challenges, but the injustice of man cannot be ignored in Nigeria when it comes to the inflating of prices of commodities. Are we wicked to ourselves?
Why should millet, guinea corn, beans, watermelon be hiked? It is only greediness of those people selling those things. Marketers are very greedy. That is why they are hiking their goods day by day, day in, day. If you buy something today at 100 naira, tomorrow if you go back to buy it from the same person, he will tell you 110 naira.
The government is our mother. If the mother dump its children, so is the survival of the fittest. I'm not supporting it, but some people have to devise way. And especially in Nigeria, we have a push and pull factor that pushes and induces Nigerians to become criminal. Because of this fragile arrangement, we have what? We have wide gap between rich and poor.
The autonomy as a result of deregulation of PMS to determine price by individual marketers intended to make fuel available is otherwise challenged.
Price disparity among states in the country is basically due to distance between the states and the coastal states where the coastal depots are located.
Every sector is suffering because you cannot remove subsidy in the whole world. I think it is only in Nigeria that this subsidy have removed. America is a father of capitalism and liberalization. England, look at the way they subsidize everything for their citizens.
Fuel has an effect on the factors that ease the lives of the masses.
If you look at the situation of the country with the issue of a removal of fuel subsidy, which has escalated many things, food prices and other things has skyrocketed. Many civil servants, if you can see right now, they have even abandoned their cars. They resort some of even trekking. Some find it even difficult to pay transport to their office. Many people are lamenting seriously with the situation we are in now. Workers are even resolved to be begging now. We have become a beggars. Because your money that at least you are receiving as a stipend every end of the month cannot even take you a week, take less of a month. So the even masses of the country are even facing more difficult situation, especially if you look at those that are not even working.
As Nigerians seek succor, the urgency for solutions against the hardship citizens are going through is paramount.
I'm calling on these marketers of these food products to fear our God. Let them fear God. They knew that maximizing profit is an offense towards God. What in Christianity and in Islam? So they should fear God and sell their items the way they bought them from the farmers.
Government has to look inward. At least, I don't buy the idea of always trying to copy the Western nations that are ahead of us. I don't think it's reasonable. We just have to look inward, adopt a policy that is suitable to Nigerians.
The basis is removal of this subsidy from 190 something to 700 and something now. So it pulled us down. So if it wanted to restore hope, to at least alleviate, because we now want to become back to zero. We are now operating at minus. So if we need government to put us back to zero.
Mrs. she says, stop calling me psychologist. Mrs. Oluwatoyin Ogunkomi.
Yes, please.
And Imam, our friend, Shuaib Mustafa. Please, let's take it from there. The fact that things are impacting us to the extent where prices are on the continuous increase, does it change who we are inside from the core? How do we marry this experience with patriotism?
Yes, it should not change us at all. We are Nigerians. We should believe that this is a country for us to build. The only thing is that the government should also not overstretch the patience of the poor. Government should do something to quickly fix the economy of the country. I say that. Emulate what is going on in Lagos. Just like what we have yesterday, there is a market in Lagos now that is special for people that are vulnerable. You can go there. What is being sold in the other market at 15,000 naira, you get it there, subsidized rate. Yes, 7,000 naira.
Every Sunday.
Yes, go there every Sunday. Let us have something like that at the, what do you call it?
Okay, nationwide?
Nationwide. All the sub-regional governments should do that. Every state should emulate that. I can see what the president said the other time when he was calling on one of the governors in Niger State and said, governors, I want to beg you. I'm not directing you, I'm not instructing you, but you help me. I'm pumping money to you in all these monies of the additional money that are given to the government workers. He said, pay them those things before we finalize the wage bill.
There's been a 69% increase in allocations to states after removal of the fuel subsidy.
Yes, when we put everything on the federal government, we were going to blame them. But the regional governments should also begin to do what we have in Lagos. Then electricity is key. Without electricity, nothing will work. We know what we are going through nowadays, harrowing experiences. They will say that they vandalize.
It's affecting you too?
Of course. I mean, Nigeria and you can't, alternatively, to get alternative power, it's difficult.
But you told me you have solar. You told me you are covered.
I don't have
solar.
You are covered. I have to energize myself. So you see the weather is also not helping.
Mrs. Oluwatoyin, are you covered?
Okay.
I know you told me you are covered as well.
I don't have solar. So
I don't have either.
I was still dependent on the national electricity and using of the fuel. And like he said, if the electricity is actually working, if we have more power, I don't think we'll be that dependent on going to buy fuel all the time. You know that you're just buying fuel just for your car, not for the generator, and not to service other things. So if the government can ensure that we have constant power, power is very important. If we can get power, if the power supply is constant, it would help and reduce the pressure on getting diesel or getting petrol, because we need power we need power for a lot of things. Now, he also said something about the Lagos state government, which I think should be the innovative or initiative of the Lagos state government should actually be done by other governments, because this is one way you can actually help those that don't have.
Other state governments should copy quickly.
As in, it's something they should just, you can use another name for it. You can be more innovative. And that's why I said when I started that we should learn to think deep within ourselves. What can we do to elevate all these pressures of the dollar, instead of us changing ourselves?
Because the pressure on the common man from the messages we are getting is a lot.
Let's think a bit more.
We'll come back. Our second break is ready. We'll take it. Thank you for your messages. Keep them coming in. We'll read them as much as we can today. It's the third break, actually. It's Weekend Deal. Don't go anywhere. It's Weekend Deal. We're talking about shortchanging Nigerians. We've been listening to our guests in the studio. We had guests yesterday who also brought their expert knowledge to the table. We're marrying everything together because our aim, our focus is to see ways that life can be more comfortable for Nigerians at this time. It is true that the times are daunting financially, but there are ways we can move to the right, move to the left, a little here and there to make life more comfortable for others as well as ourselves. We have talked about the patriot. Who really is the patriot, and how can being a patriot impact our activities? Whether you are a farmer, agriculturist, whether you sell in the market, whether you own a supermarket, whether you own a fuel station, whether you are a young gentleman or a young lady in Nigeria, are you involved in sharp and unethical practices, and why?
It starts with the family. What are we teaching our children? What values are we impacting in our children? The value of life. How important is the life of another person to you as a human being? Because that's one thing we need to know. It's not all about the money. What about the life? The person that's come to you to buy a drug and you're selling a fake drug to that person. At the end of the day, that person is going to either die or have more illness. Complications, yeah. So values, what values are we teaching? It starts from that. Because most individuals that do unethical things, they just do it because of their own selfish gain. They're not selfless. They're not thinking about the other person. And these are things we need to start teaching our children right from home. We need to teach them the right things, the right values, the right ethics. National orientation, I keep going back to that. What values do we have as a nation? What are the things that we look at that is important to us as a nation? Then, the fact that we import almost everything. That's another reason why there's so much pressure on the cost, because a lot of people are using dollar to buy. We're importing a lot of things. Can we look within ourselves? Can we start producing things locally? I love the decoration here. All the decoration here, fabrics, different fabrics.
Very innovative and creative.
I'm sure somebody came up with that. Instead of putting pictures or these are Nigerian fabrics, really nice. So can we think of how we can, instead of you going to import things, can we start thinking of how we can start producing these things locally?
Thank you. Imam Shuaib?
Yes.
Would you add your voice to that?
Yes, my voice on that is this. See, let us believe that our poverty is a monster, and you have to be very resilient to fight it. What is coming against us, we should be resilient by way of, number one, innovation. That word innovation, you can bring out something. Enough is enough. Everybody wants to be a lawyer. Let us be a productive economy. Let everyone think of what you can innovate as a new thing that the society will buy. See all these apps on our phones. Some people are out there, just thought of it, they create it. And when they create it,
recently I saw a video where you can use salt and water to recharge a lamp, and it can last for almost 6 months.
Yes. So not everybody should think
from Nigeria. Nigeria did that.
Yes. All of us should not be marketers.
Yes.
We should not be shop owners. Let there be something that you also can do. See what is happening in Abuja now, which I like. Somebody is doing riding, the ride bicycle to deliver things. Instead of you taking your cars out, you just call them, come and do this thing for me, deliver it for you, just for 1,000, 2,000 naira. That is another innovation to do that. So we should find a way of diversifying our economy locally. And again, don't put everything on government. When you put everything on government, government must do this for me. You also think out of the box.
But our young people need lots of mentors. Many people must make themselves available for young people to tap in, to get encouragement, to get wisdom, to get guidance and direction. For us to succeed in Nigeria, we must bring ideas of the past to synergize with great ideas of the present to build a fantastic path for a great future for Nigeria.
We also need to have our youth mentored. You spoke about it the other time. The youth to be mentored by the greats. Let them know that they can make it. For as long as we give them hope, they will also do something. Before you know it, things will change. And it can only change gradually. Don't expect it to change swiftly. But we have to be resilient while we're working to get it changed.
We keep pushing on.
We'll keep pushing.
Mrs. Oluwatoyin, tell us.
So I'm going to start from the part of the resilience. Because one thing we know about Nigerians are very resilient. The ability to keep pushing boundaries, the ability to go back, re-strategize, come back and do greater things. We have that in us. So I think as Nigerians, we need to look within ourselves. What can you offer to the society? What can you give to people to make them feel better about themselves and even feel better about the circumstances, things happening now? And like he said, music, we all love music, we all love entertainment, we all love the skit makers too. They're doing quite a lot by getting us, happy each time we go online, we get happy and all that. But that is not that we should forget our sorrow, but that is just for us a coping mechanism during this period. We have to learn how to cope and how to cope healthy, not using negative means to cope with the stress of what is happening now. Then,
you know how we do our hands? Please, let's hold hands. Let's hold hands, as we do. Go closer. It shows unity. It shows love.
Exactly.
We'll go back to how we started. Mahatma Gandhi said we should be the change that we seek. Barack Obama says we are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the people that can bring about that change, and we'll do it together. And Maya Angelou says, if you can't change something by being you, change your attitude, and that will further change your perspective. And the positivity will go round a circle. God bless our great country, Nigeria. We are together. One love.